Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something that is literally rewiring how artificial intelligence works. If you follow the AI space, things are moving ridiculously fast. But we're zooming in on a highly specific, incredibly important breakthrough today. Demystifying RAG and how to make AI smarter. See, RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, and it's basically the secret sauce behind the absolute most reliable and intelligent AI systems being built right now. But look, before we get to the fix, we gotta talk about the headache, right? Why do these super smart AIs still just make up facts? You know the feeling. You ask a chatbot something and it spits back this beautifully written, super confident answer that is completely 100% wrong. In the industry, we call these hallucinations, and they are a massive point of friction. I mean, why does an AI that has seemingly read the entire internet suddenly fail at basic current facts? That question is going to anchor our whole discussion today as we figure out how to solve it. So here's our game plan for today's explainer. 1. The AI knowledge problem. 2. Introducing RAG. 3. Step-by-step architecture. 4. The engine under the hood. And finally, 5. Real-world benefits. Let's get into it.
All right, part 1, the AI knowledge problem.
Okay, so think of your standard LLM like a brilliant straight-A student, but they're taking a closed-book test. They only know what they crammed into their head during their initial training, right? The second that training stops, their knowledge is literally frozen in time. That is exactly why they might give you outdated or incorrect answers and why they're so prone to those hallucinations we just talked about. But ideally, we want an AI that takes an open book test, one with real-time access to information, deep domain-specific knowledge, and most importantly, is actually accurate and reliable. Bridging the gap between those two realities is exactly what we're solving today.
Which brings us to section 2, introducing RAG.
So, Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Basically, it's an AI technique that takes the amazing text generation skills of large language models and supercharges them by pulling in information from external sources. By bringing these two things together, it helps the AI provide accurate, up-to-date, and context-aware answers using actual real-world knowledge. It's essentially taking that brilliant student, ripping up the closed book test, and giving them an open book test with access to the greatest library in the world.
If you want to boil it down to its absolute simplest, most memorable form, just remember this equation. RAG equals retrieve information plus generate answer. It really is elegantly simple at its core. First, you go out and fetch the hard facts. Then, and only then, you tell the AI to generate an answer based only on those specific facts.
The massive takeaway here, the real paradigm shift, is that RAG makes AI smarter by giving it access to external knowledge instead of relying only on what it already knows. We are officially done expecting the AI model to just memorize the entire internet perfectly. Instead, we're giving it the tools to just look things up accurately. It's a total game changer.
Moving right along to section 3, step-by-step architecture.
Let's actually walk through how this happens sequentially. Step 1 is easy. The user query. You just ask the system a question. But here's where it gets cool. Step 2 is retrieval. Instead of the AI instantly guessing, the system pauses and searches relevant documents or data from a connected knowledge base. Then step 3, augmentation. This is the magic moment. It takes those retrieved facts and literally adds them to your original query, behind the scenes. Step 4 is generation, where the LLM reads that newly augmented, fact-filled information to generate a much smarter answer. And finally, step 5, response. You get a fact-checked, highly accurate reply.
When you map it all out visually, you can really see this flow. Starting over on the left, your user query kicks off the retriever, right? That retriever acts like a search engine, scanning your knowledge base, which could be documents, PDFs, the web, an internal database, whatever. It extracts the relevant documents, feeds those straight into the LLM to generate the output, and boom, ends at your final response at the bottom. By following the flow, it's so easy to see how the external data intercepts the whole process and informs the AI before it ever even starts talking.
Okay, let's get a little more technical in section 4, the engine under the hood.
So what are the actual gears turning behind the scenes? Well, you've got the retriever, which is your search mechanism fetching the data. You have your knowledge base, which is essentially your source of truth, all your PDFs, articles, and databases. The LLM, or generator, is the brain crafting the human-sounding response using that context. But to make this search fast, you need indexing, which converts your text documents into a mathematical format called embeddings. And finally, those embeddings are stored in a vector database, which allows the system to do blazing fast similarity searches. And just to give you some concrete examples, when industry folks talk about vector databases storing those embeddings, they're usually talking about specialized tools like FACE, Chroma, or Pinecone. These are custom-built to handle exactly this kind of intense, high-speed AI retrieval.
Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Real-World Benefits.
So why go through all this trouble? Because RAG completely transforms the AI experience. Since the AI is basically taking an open book test now, it provides highly accurate and factual answers. It uses the absolute latest data, completely bypassing its original training limits. Crucially, it massively cuts down on those frustrating hallucinations. Plus, think about this. If facts change, you just update your knowledge base. You don't have to spend millions retraining the entire AI model. That makes it absolutely perfect for domain-specific fields where you literally cannot afford to be wrong, like law, medicine, or tech.
Because of these massive benefits, we are seeing RAG deployed everywhere right now. We're talking next-level chatbots that actually know your specific company policies. It's powering research assistants that let users do deep document Q&A on massive legal contracts or textbooks. It's completely revolutionizing customer support with hyper-accurate troubleshooting, and it's basically becoming the backbone of enterprise knowledge systems, letting employees instantly and securely search their entire corporate database.
As we wrap up this explainer, if you remember just one thing, make it this summary. RAG makes AI smarter by combining LLMs with real-world knowledge. It perfectly encapsulates everything we've talked about today. It's really not about trying to build a bigger brain anymore. It's about giving the brain we already have a targeted library card. By grounding the language model in reality, you get the absolute best of both worlds. Natural AI fluency paired with the hardcore accuracy of a database. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on for our final slide. If RAG is giving AI access to the entire real-world knowledge base, letting it instantly read, comprehend, and cite any document we hook it up to, what is it going to learn to solve next? Think about the possibilities when you combine absolute factual accuracy with artificial intelligence. It is, without a doubt, going to change everything. Thanks for tuning into The Explainer today. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.